Sometimes love doesn't come with hugs. Sometimes it comes with rules, expectations, and guilt. And when it comes from parents, it becomes hard to question because you're taught that they only want what's best for you. But what if that best isn't really yours? What if it's theirs? Let's go back a few years. A young boy, maybe 16, sits in his room sketching. He dreams of being an artist, but his father tells him there's no future in that. Be an engineer. Every time he picks up the pencil, he feels a weight, not from the paper, but from the guilt of disappointing his parents. So he hides his sketchbook. He hides his dream. And every time someone asks him what he wants to be, he says what his father wants to hear. That's not love. That's fear, disguised as obedience. We often confuse control with care. Parents might say, "I'm doing this for your own good." But sometimes what they really mean is, "I'm doing this so you don't make choices that make me uncomfortable." It's not always intentional. Most parents control out of fear, not cruelty. They fear failure, judgment, and losing their child's respect. So they build walls around you and call those walls protection. There's a girl named Aisha. She's in her early 20s. Her parents decide everything: what she wears, whom she talks to, even when she's allowed to smile. Whenever she tries to express herself, she's told, "We know what's best for you." And slowly, she stops arguing. She starts shrinking, not physically, but emotionally. She becomes a shadow inside her own home. One day, she looks in the mirror and whispers, "I don't even know who I am anymore." That moment is what control does. It doesn't kill you all at once. It erases you piece by piece. Now, here's the truth. Love wants freedom. Control wants obedience. Real love says, "I trust you to grow." Control says, "I can't risk you making a mistake." But mistakes are how we learn, and control takes that away. When a child is never allowed to think for themselves, they grow up into adults who doubt every choice they make. Yet there comes a moment, the moment you realize that love and control can't live in the same space. You start to see that you can love your parents and still disagree with them. You can be grateful for what they've done and still want your own path. Breaking free doesn't mean disrespect. It means redefining love as something that includes choice, not just duty. If you ever feel guilty for choosing yourself, remember this: obedience is temporary. Regret lasts forever. One day, you'll look back and wish you had fought harder for your own happiness, because at the end of it all, you're the one who has to live with your choices, not the people who made them for you. Years later, that boy who once hid his art finally opens his old sketchbook. The pages are yellow, the drawings faded, but as he looks at them, he smiles. He realizes that even though his father never approved, his art never left him. It waited for him, patiently, like an old friend. He picks up the pencil again, and this time, he draws not to impress anyone, but to find himself again. Sometimes the greatest act of love is not obedience, but honesty. And the hardest kind of love is learning to forgive your parents for not knowing the difference, because maybe they were controlled once too.